Coming up on today's show, we are going to react to Mel Kiper's first mock draft of the offseason. He had the Giants selecting an interesting player. I'll share my thoughts around the corner. I want to give a huge shout out to a brand new sponsor that we have here on Giants Now, and that is 8 Sleep. Go to 8sleep.com/chatsports and get $200 off if you're trying to improve your nightly sleep. That link will be clickable down in the comments and description, and we'll tell you more about them coming up. But let's get into it. Mel Kiper Jr. just released his first mock draft of the offseason, and the Giants have a great opportunity to improve this roster with pick number 6. I'll show you who he selected. I'll tell you why he selected that player, but I'm going to tell you who I would have picked in this situation. Number 1 overall, though, he has the USC quarterback Caleb Williams going to the Chicago Bears. I'm a big fan of Caleb Williams. I believe the Giants should do whatever it takes to trade up with the Bears to get Williams, but the more and more you hear, it sounds like the Bears are staying put and they're going to draft Caleb Williams. Number 2 overall, kind of a shocker here, but we've started to hear more buzz about it, that Jayden Daniels may be QB2 in this draft class. And in Mel Kiper's first mock draft, he has the Commanders taking Daniels, the Heisman winner, out of LSU. Drake Maye, selected number 3 overall to the New England Patriots. We go quarterback, and I honestly think that is how the draft is going to play out. Getting Drake Maye at pick 3 is a steal for the New England Patriots as they start a new era. But the best player in the draft, position player, comes off the board at number 4. He'll be heading to the Arizona Cardinals. That's Marvin Harrison Jr., getting Kyler Murray a new weapon to work with. I think MHJ will walk into the league and be a top 15 weapon in this league. Brock Bowers goes number 5 overall to the Los Angeles Chargers. They need more players. They need more playmakers. And if you compare Brock Bowers with an elite quarterback like Justin Herbert, that's going to be a really good duo for a long, long time in this league. But I want to ask this question. With the Giants on the clock and the board falling this way, if you were Joe Schoen, who would you select? If Williams, Daniels, and Maye are gone, and the top receiver and the top tight end are gone, let me know who you would select with this pick. I'll tell you who Mel Kiper has coming up right now. Mel Kiper has the New York Giants selecting Malik Nabers, the superstar wide receiver out of LSU. This is his reasoning. The Giants got just 6 games out of quarterback Daniel Jones on the way to a lost season that showed some cracks in the foundation. Defensive coordinator Wink Martindale resigned after the season, and the offense under coordinator Mike Kafka struggled with Tyrod Taylor and Tommy DeVito under center. I keep coming back to getting Daniel Jones more help, as he has never played with a true number 1 wide receiver. And Nabers could be that. He's coming off an 89-catch, 1,569-yard season, catching passes from Jayden Daniels, and he has a rare combination of speed and route running ability. He led the FBS with 17 catches of 30-plus yards. The Giants had just 15 total 30-plus yard receptions last season, 5 of which were from rookie third-rounder Jalin Hyatt. And as you guys know, the more explosive plays you can create, the easier it is for you to win ball games on Sunday. And Malik Nabers, that dude is a freak. He is going to come into this league and be a star no matter where he goes. He somewhat reminds me of a young Odell Beckham Jr. I also get some Stephon Diggs vibes from him. He is kind of the epitome of what Joe Schoen wants at a wide receiver. He can line up in the slot, he can line up outside, and he can beat you at all 3 levels of the defense. And explosive plays equals wins. You saw what Mel Kiper said, one of the highest explosive play rate of any receiver in college football last year. And if you watched any Giants football this year, that is something that they lacked. But they also haven't had a 1,000-yard receiver since 2018. It's been quite some time. And Nabers could solve that issue in year 1. What I like about him, though, is he had 2 really good years of production at LSU. It wasn't just a one-year wonder for him. He was good in 2022. Over 1,000 yards, 14 yards per catch, but then he doubled it up and he went to work this year. Almost 90 grabs, just under 1,600 yards, 14 touchdowns, 17.6 yards per catch. What I love about him, though, his ability to get north and south and be a generator with the football in his hands. You see that with 418 yards after the catch last year and 589 yards after the catch this year. The Giants need more playmakers with the ball in their hands to make life easier for whoever the quarterback may be. I want to take a look at this chart from Pro Football Focus. It kind of just shows where Malik Nabers does most of his work. He lines up predominantly on that right side of the field, and he can attack every single spot and blade of grass on the field. I mean, the dude is electric. He could beat you short and over the middle. He could beat you deep and outside on the right. He could beat you for a post route. His ability to be productive and produce results, no matter where he lines up on the football field and no matter where his route takes him, is a benefit to any offense. He is the type of receiver Joe Schoen wants to add. A generator with the football in his hands, multiple spots he can line up, and just be a game changer. He is that kind of guy. I'll ask you this question, though. Grade the pick of Malik Nabers to the New York Giants. Get out your red pen and let me know what you think of Mel Kiper's mock draft of Nabers to Big Blue, A, B, C, D, or F. I'll give my grade to this draft pick coming up in a second. But first, I want to give a huge shout out to a brand new sponsor on today's show, 8 Sleep. When you go to 8sleep.com/chatsports, you're going to get $200 off your first purchase. 8 Sleep's Pod 3 cover slips right over your mattress, bringing heat and cooling tech that keeps you comfortable and sleeping deeper for a better, more restful night. Go to 8sleep.com/chatsports and get $200 off. I'll put all that information clickable down in the comments and description. Getting a good night's sleep is very important to me. I'm grinding year-round and late nights to get you guys free daily Giants coverage. I need to be charged up. I also really care about my health, wellness, and fitness, and sleep is the backbone of that. The pod cover will improve your sleep by automatically adjusting your bed's temperature based on your individual needs. The cover can be added to any bed like a fitted sheet that allows you and your partner to cool or warm your side of the bed as low as 55 degrees and up to 110 degrees. There's no better way to improve your day-to-day life than better sleep. And the easiest way to do that is with 8 Sleep's Pod 3. Start the new year right and invest in the rest you deserve with 8 Sleep Pod. Go to 8sleep.com/chatsports and get $200 off. I'll make sure all that information is clickable down in the comments and description of today's show. Shout out to 8 Sleep for being a sponsor. All righty, my grade of the pick of the Giants with Malik Nabers at number 8. I give it a B+. I think it is a good pick. Why? Because he's wide receiver 2 in the draft. The Giants have a need for a playmaker, and he's one of the best in the business. I think he would immediately help this offense. He could do a lot of things on a football field. But does he fit the biggest need for this football team? It's tough to make plays downfield when your quarterback doesn't have time. It's tough to get open and go to work and when a play breaks down if your quarterback is consistently on their back. And Mel Kiper acknowledged that when he said this: New York quarterbacks were sacked a whopping 85 times, the most in the league. And the offense ranked 30th in yards per play at 4.5. The Giants used top 10 picks on offensive linemen in 2020, Andrew Thomas, and 2022, Evan Neal. But I absolutely could see them doing it again as tackles Joe Alt out of Notre Dame and Olu Fashanu, Penn State, are still available in this scenario. I've been watching this game for a long time, and my football mind tells me that games in the National Football League are won in the trenches. The team that controls the line of scrimmage the most is 9 times out of 10 going to win the football game. And it doesn't matter who you have on the outside. You could have Jerry Rice, T.O., Randy Moss, Larry Fitzgerald, Calvin Johnson. It doesn't matter. If your quarterback can't take a 5-step drop, hitch up in the pocket, and read the defense, you're not going to win football games. It doesn't matter who you're throwing to. And selfishly, as a fan of this organization, I'd like to root for a team with a good offensive line. I forgot what that feels like. I forgot winning a game on Sunday and saying we absolutely dominated that team. We took over in the fourth quarter by running the football. I love saying that because that is what the Giants were when they were at their peak, when they won 2 Super Bowls in 5 seasons. Dominate the line of scrimmage. And adding a guy like Joe Alt could do that. Kiper's a big fan of Alt. He might have taken him at 6, he said. But he had him going the very next pick to the Tennessee Titans and wrote, Alt was the definition of a stalwart on the left side of Notre Dame's line, where he started 33 games. He gave up just 2 sacks over the past 2 seasons. Tennessee ranked 31st in the rate of sacks per dropback in 2023. I really do believe Joe Alt is as close as you get to bust-proof. I don't see a world where Joe Alt is not going to be a successful football player in this league. Do I have a little bit of worry that he may struggle or take a little bit of time to go from left tackle to right tackle? Sure. But he's a damn good football player. He's got the NFL DNA inside his body, and I believe he could figure it out. And you might say, Marshall, there's no way I'm taking another offensive lineman. We did it with Evan Neal. We did it with John Michael Schmitz. We did it with Josh Azudu. We did it with Marcus McKeithen. Scared money don't make money. And you can't let one mistake or one hiccup prevent you from going and doing another thing. If you're scared to shoot your shot, nothing's ever going to happen. Scared money don't make money. And I am not letting the mess up of Evan Neal prevent me from having to select another offensive lineman in the top 10. The odds actually tell you that if you do select another offensive lineman in the top 10, he's actually going to be decent because you hit on about 50% of those picks. For me, I just don't see a way that you could pass on Joe Alt. If Joe Alt and Malik Nabers are on the board, I'm taking Joe Alt at 6 because I think the biggest need on this team is offensive line, and he's the best in the league. But I want to hear from all the real ones. Malik Nabers, Joe Alt, type the initial of the player you want to see wearing a Giants draft hat come April. It's Joe Alt for me. It is. I think he's bust-proof. I think he's as close as you get there. I think he walks in and he's an immediate difference maker, and he fits the position of the biggest need on this football team. 85 sacks, 3 quarterbacks last year. I don't want to go through that again, and I don't need to see another year of Evan Neal to know that he is not the answer at that spot. As always, I just want to say thank you and appreciate you for stopping by and hanging out with us here on Giants Now. If you made it this far in the show and you're not subscribed, change it. I would greatly appreciate it. We're on our way to 50,000 subs, and we need your help. Sub for Giants Dubs.